A few of you are probably already planning for next year. Maybe for some others, it's going to start in the next couple of weeks. I've been talking a lot about top-down and bottom-up planning, and I got some questions on what do those concepts really actually mean. Let's start with top-down. Top-down usually is a revenue number that has been decided, sometimes by the CEO, sometimes by the board, and then there's a spreadsheet that breaks that revenue number down in number of new customers, opportunities need to be created, MQLs needing to create it, and so forth. When someone goes to that level of detail with a plan, some people start referring to it as a bottom-up plan. But that's actually not what we're referring to in a bottom-up plan. So let's move on to what that actually is. What is a bottom-up plan? In short, it is a list of to-dos that you and your team can tangibly execute next year. Examples for that is hiring someone, executing a project in your funnel for improvements, or executing a campaign in marketing. As a next step, you now need to understand what are all of these things resulting in revenue. And as you stack all of these hires and campaigns and projects up and understand the revenue impact, you will now end up with a bottom-up plan that in the best case scenario is matching the top-down. Usually, that's simply not the case. And this is now where you are in a position to have a strong, data-driven, logic-driven conversation with a CFO. Her top-down plan will be one thing, your bottom-up plan will be another thing, and you're now going to try and figure out how to match those two worlds in order to really reach a full agreement. And that, usually comes down to, I need more budget in order to hit that number that you want me to hit, or you need to lower that number. And that's now going to result in a back and forth between the two of you until you reach the point where you settle. And once you have achieved that, you can use that bottom-up plan now very tangibly with the rest of your team and the organization and be very clear and precise and transparent in your communication on what do you expect to happen when and who's responsible for what. That is a key item that you will not have in a top-down plan. Once you have that, you can now sit down on a monthly and quarterly basis and have a conversation with the people responsible on, did those hires happen as we planned? Did those projects happen as we planned? And are those campaigns progressing as we planned? And if they're not, that's great. And that's 99% of reality out there. You can now have a conversation on what you need to do in order to course correct. And you can have that conversation in March instead of in November, which is a big difference between top-down and bottom-up planning. Who's the team who's going to help you with that? Obviously, revenue operations, really trying to bridge the gap between financial planning and your commercial execution.